The White House announcing new emergency funding that they want for the crisis on the border. This is the president heads to Texas today. Congressman Paul Ryan joins us live now from our nation's capital. Good morning, Congress.
Hey, good morning, Steve, Brian, Anna. How you doing this morning?
Great to have you. You know, the president is asking for $3.7 million for new detention facilities, Border Patrol agents in overtime, more judges, but nothing about securing the southern border. Are you going to give him the money if they don't fix the border first?
Well, I think you put the nail right on the head, which is we don't have a credible plan from the president to fix the root cause of the problem here, which is we don't have a secure border. This is a supplemental that treats symptoms, doesn't address the fact that people are breaking the laws and our border is not secure. This is why we think the president needs to show us what is his plan to actually secure the border to prevent this from happening in the future. And part of this is the president's own doing with his own executive orders. Part of this is a law that says relocate people within the interior of the country. We think that ought to be addressed. But more importantly, where is the plan to actually secure the border to prevent this from happening, to prevent these illegal crossings in the first place? And that's what we think is lacking in this supplemental request.
Yeah, is this just a Band-Aid? Is it something where the president is going to have to come back and ask for billions more dollars in a few months or next year?
Well, that's the whole point, which is where is it? The administration has been so ambiguous on this crisis. We know it's a fact that he has given us mixed signals, and that's why people think they can come here and bring their kids and that they'll be taken care of. So I think part of this is of the president's own making. A lot of it is the fact that we still have yet to secure our border. And how can we have faith in fixing immigration laws if we can't even secure our own southern border?
What would you do, Congressman, Chairman, with the kids that are here now? I mean, there's 50,000 have come since October. What do we do with them now?
People have crossed this border illegally, no matter what their age is. It is a humanitarian crisis. If we actually take them and absorb it into the country, think of the signal that would send to others. They'll continue coming. You'll actually make this crisis even worse. So there is a rule of law issue here, and you don't want to have the moral hazard of inducing more humanitarian crises. So you have to say this border is secure. You can't come into this country illegally. There are legal methods for doing it. That's the way to go. And we need to have a credible plan for the administration on addressing the root cause of this problem, not simply treating symptoms. Yes, we need more Border Patrol. We need more detention facilities. But that's in addition to actually having a plan to credibly secure the border, which we have yet to see from this administration.
Exactly. Well, we'll see what comes out of the meeting today with the president and Rick Perry. Meanwhile, it was back on June 20th, Congressman. I don't have to remind you, you had in front of you the commissioner of the IRS, and some crazy stuff has happened at the IRS. We want to play this exchange where essentially you're saying you don't trust this guy.
You asked taxpayers to hang on to 7 years of their personal tax information in case they're ever audited, and you can't keep 6 months worth of employee emails? I don't believe you. This is incredible.
I have a long career. That's the first time anybody has said that you do not believe me.
I don't believe you.
What were you saying? Were you saying that he was telling a lie, or the story that the IRS is telling simply is not believable?
Look, there's a long track record here. They've been stonewalling throughout this entire investigation. Hardworking taxpayers deserve a government that is impartial, that is fair, that's honest, that's efficient, transparent, accountable, and they're not getting it. We see our job as getting that kind of government for the taxpayers who pay for the government in the first place. Look, the IRS told the White House in April about these hard drive crashes, and they didn't tell Congress until May, and they really didn't tell us. They buried it in a 27-page letter to the Senate. And only after we followed up did we learn that 6 other hard drives have crashed, for a total of 7 people critical to this investigation. Coincidentally, their hard drives crashed, and their emails are unrecoverable, and the servers were wiped clean. That's what I don't believe. I don't think it's a credible story, and we still have yet to get full answers to the questions that we've been asking, and we're not going to stop.
Your scolding words just echoing what a lot of people were thinking while they were watching that as well. Congressman Ryan, today your Budget Committee has a hearing on how the federal government can better fight poverty. What's going on with that?
Well, look, we're bringing in people who are on the front lines of fighting poverty, getting people off of welfare into lives of dignity and work, and we want to learn lessons from them. We've had 50 years in the war on poverty, and the poverty rates haven't changed. And so we think we need to do better than that. And so we're learning from people who are on the front lines, like Catholic Charities, who are actually succeeding at getting people into good lives, into good jobs, and we want to learn from them. Right now, we have a cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all poverty management system at the federal level, and we think we need to do another round of welfare reform like we did in the late 1990s.
I know you're spending a lot of time in the inner city, going to some of the inner city churches, trying to find out what's going on to better learn, because that's not the upbringing you've had. But yet you've gotten some backlash when you've spoken out. Any regrets?
Not whatsoever. I think what we need to do is go learn from poverty fighters who are actually succeeding at fighting poverty. Go learn from people who have a lot to teach us, and don't sit in the ivory tower of Washington waiting for bureaucrats to tell you what they want to do. That's just not how government should work. That's not how you respect taxpayers. And what you learn is if you go into these poverty communities and learn from people who are actually succeeding at fighting poverty, that you can do a lot with that. And that's what I think is very beneficial. We need to challenge the status quo, Brian. The status quo isn't working. The status quo is keeping people stuck in poverty, and we need to challenge that. And those who want to protect the status quo, yeah, this is threatening to them, but we should not take this awful situation we have today as an excuse for doing nothing.
You can't just throw money at it. You got to address the core issue, which
You've
is
got to
exactly
address the core issue,
which was what you were talking about regarding illegal immigration as well. Paul Ryan, Congressman, Chairman, sir, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Have a good day.